Hi and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension once again. This is Roxanne here to channel for you. Here we go. Ding!
Sorry.
That was so funny. Okay, we're all tuning in. Oh my gosh. Alright, hang on guys. We're getting it. Yes? What?
I just want to make sure everything is...
And greetings to the collective once again. This is Ocyphius. We bid you a good day. Alright, let us begin an idea. That of a new expression, kind of popped in on the Q&A. And now we'll come in and, let's say, offer his idea of reality. Stand by. Much like the same version as Ocyphius, when my eyes are open, the voice is kind of the same. Roxy's been assessing me, trying to figure out who I am and such, and she understands she really doesn't need to figure that part out. But you can call me Roman. Alright, so I'm an expression, and we've covered that idea. But to reiterate, I'm not anything except what I am in the moment. I'm an expression, I'm creation. I'm what's behind the mirror. Your mirror, one creating the mirror. You are the idea of what you are right now, but you are also an infinite number of ideas. Always. So let go of the who once again and start understanding the what. You're expressing. Who's expressing? You, the energy that expresses creation. Bursts into the idea. So I'm birthing the idea of Roman, and I'm the same I am that Roxy is. But I'm the Roman idea, and Roxy's the Roxy idea from the same energy idea. How cool. So, we want to talk about wisdom in an idea. When you have something that you understand completely, utterly completely, it's not on your radar. We understand this as wisdom, so let's backtrack a little and kind of put it together. You forgot, you're coveting, you start seeing enactments in the mirror, those mirrors become idea valuable, you're coveting ideas of your reality, your beliefs. Much like the young entity there is going to covet the mother, covet the father, covet the brother, and understand its reality and start enacting and valuing those belief systems to where they're not noticed. And through this idea, adolescent, it grows up and starts to question some of its ideas, realizing that pretty much everyone around them is full of shit. And they want to figure their own way out. But then you stretch yourself into mediocrity and you avoid, because of your worthiness, you avoid your own idea of self-expression. And you express in accordance to what is acceptable within the framework. And that's how humanity has evolved. Because there's always some ideas of entities going beyond the edge, creating and moving the collective forward. One sees, then two, then three, and then the 100 monkey effect, then poof, the evolution of humanity has evolved. But there's different portions of you that work within that framework. There are some of these portions over here are no longer paid attention to as you've evolved. Why? Because they're wisdom now. You don't go over ground you understand in complete wisdom. Not belief, not knowing. Knowing is a pumped up belief. Wisdom, to where it's never in your idea, fractal idea, expansion self, the one you're incurring right now, gives any attention to this idea. So you look at these ideas that do draw your attention. And the old ideas that you've coalesced, you no longer pay attention to. They're not even on your menu as shiny things. Things to play with. Things you want to go and explore. Because when you understand forgetfulness, your clean slate, and then you portion yourself in understanding these idea beliefs and you turn them back into the whole, then you never need to realize them again and what they are, for they have become wisdom, and you can never unforget those ideas. This incarnation, once wisdom, yourself is exposed to the conscious self and accepted in that idea fully, then you will never unforget that part of yourself anymore. So then you move into the shiny things, the things of interest, the things of, let's say, causality, to move you into, let's call them permission slips. Let's call them ideas of intrigue, interest, something that you want to work on to understand reality. And those ideas is what you will always do because they are unknown. You won't go back over the ground that you've already covered. So you put an idea, permission slips, great permission slip, and you put it over here for something to play with. And you go in there and maybe you want to explore the idea of Reiki. Maybe you want to go and explore the idea of channeling and the idea of becoming a civil engineer or something that's intriguing you to move. And you go and you play in that reality. And then as that reality is understood and discerned to your accordance, whatever frequencies of limitations were challenged in that moment, become engaged with the awareness of the individual singularity, you, and you take tiny little fractions of that on its own and solve them, heal them, knowledge them to wisdom. And then another portion of you is coalesced in whole. You alright? Come here, baby. There it is. So once it's understood, then you take yourself and you go after more shiny things. Now, if you're moving in a lifetime and you don't get it in your lifetime, then you probably will do it again and again and again and again. Much like all of you. All of you have had many upon many, thousands upon thousands of lifetimes here on earth. So you can utilize your idea coalescing work and bring that into the next fractal, and that vibrational remembrance, there is no time because it's happening in the idea of right now, all of those lives. Then you get this interconnection with all of these entities, and whether you end it in this lifetime and not fully understand or be awake or whatever you, let's say, deem yourself in, let's say, stature right now and how good you're doing in the ascension world, know that all of those other lifetimes have led to the coalescing of you now to be awake. And if you don't finish the idea project of waking up, because a lot of you want to fully ascend, we understand that, then know that all of the future selves are going on there right now. So the reason behind this idea is I want you to look at yourselves in 100 different selves going on right now, and each of them is understanding the separation, turning portions of their own limitations into wisdom. And now, class, the awareness of the probable selves increases your rapidity. Awesome. Increases your rapidity of healing yourself with your other selves. Now, here comes the shiny thing. How do I do that? What do I need to do? That is intention. We are not an advocate of intention. We are advocates of allowance, trusting the vulnerability of the higher self to potentiate the most beneficial moment for you to understand yourself in the idea of the slipstream, in the idea of your own ascension. All of the other fractals, let's call it me, are all expressing the fractals, and this is one of them through Roxy. All of these fractals are simultaneously and sequentialtaneously in the now working out the limitations of the idea species. So I'm working on 1,000 me's right now, and each individual me is now coalesced in the idea of an awakened idea, you. So those people that you are working with, your other selves, are pouring in information to you. And what is drawing your attention away from the coalescing of those is intention of purpose. Why is this happening? I need to know. You have an appetite for destruction of your own idea. You want to feed on information, but you don't have any knowledge. You have a plethora of information spilling all over you. It's all input around you. You're focusing on what about, yeah, but, and all of that can be let go. Can it be that free? Absolutely. Do you need to intentionally create anything? Absolutely not. Because you can't think big enough. You can't think on what it is outside of the now that you are experiencing. It's too fucking big. Whatever you can think of, it's a multitude times infinity larger on what creation truly is. You guys are just now scratching the surface. If you could take a football field, right now you're a blade of grass in the end zone. And the football field is ascension. That's how much you have to understand just to get out of the stadium. And you are still, right now, in this tiny blade of grass. You're understanding. And that's why the ascension is going to take about 800-900 years. However, it's going to accelerate so fast because everyone, you guys, right now, is right now starting this acceleration. You just came out of the blocks. The gun is fired and you're sprinting now. Because all of you in your own awareness of the awareness of limitations and how to breathe love into them and how to not engage or fear or avoid them now, but love them and allow them and trust the higher self in its idea potentials of joy and follow them and feed the mirror the joy of the now. Can be no other way. It is the law. And then that only validates your own choices of your own self-worth, commanding the isness that you are, so you no longer choose the idea of the framework of acceptability over there. Social, humanity, psyche right now. And the edge workers take that domination of the self and they pour it on the reality and they say, look what I did. Because you chose joy. And you chose not to engage in the repetition way you try to solve from the now past limitations. By working on them, by coming up with a structured plan. You guys are gods. All of those shiny things of structured idea rituals to get you to this now are permission slips that are no longer shiny. You've played with them. It's time for the new toys, time for the unknown. That unknown is your idea of the allowance, trust, vulnerability to give you the unknown. Undistorted by the frequencies of intention, want to know, need to know, have to know, what about, always doubting, moving yourself along timelines of, let's say, doubt and shift and could and should and purpose. All of those things. You want to feel belong. You want to feel accepted. You want to feel loved. We know that. And you're looking for some romantic purpose so you can fucking feel good about yourself. But the simple fact is, it is a law, so we shall say it is a fact. And of course it is your choice to believe it or not, is that you exist. You were chosen. We can't echo that enough by the entity Bashar. The idea of creation chose you to exist. You can never unexist. Ever. Because that is a law. And since you exist, You know that you're already worth it. And you need no validation. You need no validation of someone telling you, in my past life, I was this or that. Roxy had an entity when she was house sitting out in the country that was fractalizing an idea of wanting to know what her other selves were. And we gave her what she thought would be romantic. Awesome. The Pleiadian self. Tell me about it. And we did. And she was sorely disappointed to find out that she was just an idea of what you would call a messenger. A run-between councils. And then the appearance of her wasn't what she expected either. Because she doesn't understand that she belongs to creation and that she's worthy of every single choice. And she was looking for idealized romance, worth. I'm a royal on this ideal lifetime. I was this on this ideal lifetime. And over there, I am this. Awesome. But it doesn't deal with you. Escape. What about this fucking entity? You know how much of a fucking honor it is to be a human? Do you know how many people are in line to be humans? Waiting for one fractal to say they're over and the next person in line to come in is ready to go? Because all of you guys are seniority and you get the next incarnation if you choose. The ones that don't, open up a spot and the line is long. It's very long to get into here. You're a human. You're the most limited, unlimited species. And you're always dodging yourself because you want other ways to know how to love yourself. And it starts with existence. That I exist. I am now. I am here. And I am worth this fucking rodeo. And that right there tells you that the limitations that tell you different aren't as emotionally attached to you that you previously have understood. They don't hold the value that they did. The old beliefs that you no longer see on your radar because you've turned them into wisdom is proof enough that you are ascending. But when you ask the question, why is this happening? What's going on? What does it mean? Then you're only sustaining that world because the mirror is perfect and you will play in the playground of always being wondrous instead of being evolutionary to the self. It's all evolution. Of course, you're always weaving the tapestry of life. You're always expanding. You're always being. But you're here to understand limitation to its fullest and engaging in it and not dodging from it and changing identities to escape from the dreadful human that you are. To know that this human is an honor and you get to play it. You get to play it in such an expression of free will. And that free will is creating beyond your expectation thousands and billions of realities around you that you cannot perceive because you run interference and always shift on these la-la land ideas instead of getting down to the nitty-gritty of the self. And it's not hard. It doesn't take an idea dissertation on how to. You're God. Right there's God. All the time. Right there. Follow that God. The inside God. The I am, I trust me, only God, inside of me God. You're ready. Move that way. Trust it. Let it go. And in your nows, more and more of you will see that there is nothing to fear. Because fear is only a probable reality. There is no fear. It is based on the known, and the known is the past. The unknown is undistorted, unconditional love flowing in. How can you be fearful of the unknown? You can't. You can't. So what do? You hear the heartbeat inside of you. You feel that swelling up that says, I'm alive. I'm worth it. And listen to those wonderful words of yourself, beating the living shit out of yourself, judging yourself, saying you're not this and you're not that. and step away and watch them in observation and love them. And know that now you have the choice, because the emotional connection that kept you in that reality circle is now weakened. And you can step beyond those boundaries and move your framework into a larger idea of yourself. Play with the shiny things. Go after them. But not in the idea of knowing and musts and have-tos. The higher self is giving you a new candy every day to go and play with and understand it. And as soon as it's done, let it go. And let it go. And there's always a new idea flowing. And then you realize that the now is a constant flow of now. And you never have to do anything except that of your highest joy. Trust it. Follow this, entities. Follow this idea, and your reality will shift. Focus not on the outside. Focus in your reality bubble. Create the idea of the 4D earth in a more frequented idea manner that solidifies that as a tangible ideas for the sleep to move to in this next idea coming months. Rock your world. This is Roman. We love you. And thank you that are Roman. Once again, entities of ascension, we are on. We thank you, and we bid you a good day. Adone. What's up, baby? Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And looks like Rob Air wants to play, so we're gonna go play. I love you guys. Bye.